Okay guys, so welcome to the second part of the video. So on this part, I'm going to discuss how do we copy sidewall, we set the vector, how do we paste the copied sidewall to other buildings. So basically this is the tutorial on how we make 3D buildings, and I'm going to teach you on how to draw it using Brother Way. Okay. So this is the basic way of drawing multi-layered buildings. So when we say multi-layered buildings, these are buildings that the side walls are visible. So let's go to the examples for me to show you. Okay. So on this example, I'm going to show you this is an example of multi-layered building. So it's building that has visible walls. So these are the really tall buildings that you see, well, everywhere, of course. So the way that we draw this is the basic way to draw multi-layered buildings is, for example, this is at the top of the building. We select that one and then we drag it. Okay, so if you have a set vector, that is their vector set, and then okay, so for example, if you don't have a vector set, select vector and then escape to delete the vector. And then if you don't have a vector set, and when you drag, you could probably move it anywhere that you want. Okay, so that is the shape of the building that is multi-layered building, or uh, big buildings. Okay, so the way that we draw big buildings is brother technique is this. Okay, so first is we trace the big part. One moment. We trace the big part of the building first, and then we set the vector. So when we set the vector, we press 3, and then go to the very, or the most visible side wall. In my case, this is here. So point to point. Okay, so when I drag it down, it's gonna follow that sidewall. So I'm gonna use this as a guide. You see this one? I'm gonna use this as a guide on where my building will end. Okay, so that is the full height of my building. Okay, so on that note, I'm going to draw this part too. I'm going to use the X tool, Z tool, X tool. Okay, you see that one? That is a repair tool. Okay, the next part is I'm going to draw the lower portion of this. So this is the brother way of doing things, is I'm going to draw this portion, but it's going to stick here. So what I'm going to use is H. That is the tool that was shared earlier. So the H tool, here the H tool. So this is the trace tool. Okay, so this is used in drawing broader way of the drawing 3D buildings. Okay, so what I'm going to use is, okay, we'll come back here. So I press H, and then I press this point here, because this is where the building starts. Okay, so what will happen is it will actually make, if it's visible, it's gonna actually make a guide for you guys to follow. So press H, and then press F. So what I'm doing here, wherein I could drag, is I press Control and then I drag. Okay, guys. Oh my god. Again, H, F, S, F again, S, F. See, I also switch to different kinds of tools. And then before making the last point, I use H. I press H, and then because it's gonna trace this part, and then I use space. Okay, so you see that it traced this part. So the height is really perfect for this kind of drawing. Okay, the next example is this. So you also use H here. Example. So it shows an example. Also, it shows an example here. H. Also shows a guide there. Just make sure that before you press the last space that you've selected H. So H and then is space. You see? This is the top part. And then I also would like to trace this one. So H. So that is a guide that he made. Okay. I'm going to use H again on the last part before I press space. Okay. And then it made it like that. Okay, so if you're confused, this is the part, this is the top part, so it's kind of taller than this one, so this is shorter. Okay, so this is the skeletal view of it, if you might say. So that is the way of drawing things using the broader way of drawing things. So for the basic things that you need to learn on the project, so while you're drawing, you could use control to drag your drawing. Okay, control and drag. Okay, so you use W, that is your drag tool. R, so if you use R, that is your toggle tool. Okay, so it erases the SHP, so it toggles, so it's easier for you to see the actual look of the building. Okay, so that is for this video, and I'll see you on the examples that I'll be making for each of these slides that we have. So I'm going to show you examples of each slides that we have here, so it's also gonna be here. Okay, so thank you guys for listening.